Beach spray, marine collagen, seaweed, everything. Beauty brands love using the ocean to market new products. But beneath the surface, the industry is polluting the ocean.
And even if it's recycled, it could still end up here. This is pretty disgusting.
With few regulations holding it to account, the personal care industry is operating with impunity.
It all comes back to money.
Green beauty.
This is a radiance mask.
It's a growing movement towards cleaner and more natural products. As consumers, it seems like a win-win. Better for us and better for the environment.
In the last 10 years, it's changed dramatically. Everyone really wants green beauty.
The global industry is expected to reach 21 million in the next 5 years. But what if what's supposed to be a solution is actually fueling another problem?
Of course, everyone wants a pretty package.
Yeah.
But I think now people are really savvy and they really want to know what's in the bottle that they're buying.
Some companies are exploiting the green beauty movement, slapping words like clean, green, or natural on products to mislead consumers. The tactic is known as greenwashing. And as I'm about to find out, greenwashing is everywhere in the beauty industry, and it's threatening our planet and ourselves. I'm heading to Hawaii, a petri dish for greenwashing's two biggest problems: plastic and chemical pollution.
One of the most common essentials found in your beach bag may actually contain harmful toxins.
Hawaii is now the first place in the world with a ban on certain sunscreen lotions.
Two specific chemicals that are believed to cause harm to marine life and coral reefs.
You may have heard that sunscreen could be damaging coral reefs. In July 2018, Hawaii became the first state to ban sunscreen ingredients oxybenzone and octinoxate. But it's more complicated than you might expect.
Like, you're right on the verge of full marine life, you know? So you get like big apex predators coming in here. Right outside, there's all of a sudden like full live coral reefs.
Dr. John Burns is studying the true impact of sunscreen on Hawaii's fragile coral ecosystem.
We're seeing such rapid rates of change on these reefs that we can't afford to waste any more time.
1, 2, 3.
The reefs were hardly the vibrant habitats I was expecting. Everywhere I looked, I saw dead and dying corals.
I still try to be an optimist, but I have seen changes I didn't think I would see in my lifetime. It's a lot of death. It's a lot of destruction.
I wanted to know how sunscreen was impacting this devastation.
So it's really eliminating the ability of corals to reproduce and make new generations.
Corals reproduce in a closely timed event where they release sperm and eggs that float to the surface of the ocean.
At that stage, they're exceptionally vulnerable. They're being immersed and exposed to everything that's in the water.
It's hard to know how much reef loss is from sunscreen or from other stressors, like climate change. But one thing is clear: our reefs are in crisis. Scientists predict that in about a decade, 90% of the world's reefs could be dead.
We need the reefs for food.
Yeah.
We need them for oxygen.
Yeah.
We need them for coastal protection.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of medicines that can save lives that we don't even know about in there.
Absolutely.
And we're destroying them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what we need to do is make sure these chemicals are safe before we use them.
But figuring out what's actually safe is harder than you might think.
There's this one that says reef safe on it, but if you look on the back, it's got avobenzone. We don't know if that's safe for the reef or not.
Okay.
It's not just a few ingredients. It's actually an entire category of sunscreens that have experts like Diana Felton concerned.
We have so much more to learn about what some of these chemicals do to both the environment and to human health.
There are two kinds of sunscreens. Chemical absorbs UV rays, while mineral reflects them. Chemical sunscreen is the one raising questions.
This would be the style of what I would choose. That's traditionally what we think of as reef safe, is ones that are mineral only.
Even the historically cautious Food and Drug Administration has said that these ingredients need more research before confirming that they're safe and effective. This is the heart of the issue. The personal care industry largely polices itself. It's what allows them to greenwash in the first place and to put ingredients in products without knowing what they'll do.
You could argue that a lot of these chemicals are sort of this great human experiment because we don't know the long-term potential impacts.
It's not just what's inside the bottles that's wreaking environmental havoc. The more insidious danger could be the bottles themselves, made out of plastic. It's hard to imagine a time before it existed. In fact, plastic as we know it is only about a century old. In 1907, chemist Leo Baekeland invented the first modern plastic.
It's bakelite resinoid.
Durable, but more importantly, cheap. It spurred a revolution. The self-care industry quickly caught on, replacing its glass bottles with plastic ones. Today, we pump out about 300 million tons of plastic every year, about the weight of the entire human population, and it's piling up. A third of all plastic packaging ends up in the ocean, and the personal care industry is a major culprit. More than 60% of the packaging is made out of, you guessed it, plastic. In Hawaii, the impact is inescapable.
We definitely have our fair share of plastic piling up on our beaches.
We're on our way to Camilo Point, one of the most polluted beaches in the world, far from civilization. It shows us just how much plastic comes from the ocean itself.
We have done in the past up to as many as 13 trucks carrying marine debris out with, I think, a record-breaking load somewhere around 7,000 pounds of marine debris in one day.
In one day?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow.
So yeah.
This is pretty disgusting. When you're down here actually looking at all of this plastic, I quickly noticed that all of this vegetation is growing up and over plastic. It's overwhelming.
It was a chilling reminder that despite our best efforts, these products that we use every day end up in the ocean and wash up on beaches like this. I couldn't help but feel complicit.
Shampoo bottle, another shampoo bottle, another shampoo bottle. This is a skin antibacterial skin cleanser. No more gray hair. Hair dye for men and women. This was definitely some sort of like little shampoo or travel size something. Used this for 4 uses, and now it's on our planet for 500 years.
It's clear that plastic has invaded our oceans, but what does it mean for the rest of the planet? Researchers at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are studying fish to find out.
Oh my gosh.
And what they're finding is pretty shocking.
2 different colored bottle caps that I found in the same stomach. Bottleneck here. This is a black plastic bag. This is probably my craziest find.
A Lego.
So this was all the plastics that we got in about a 5-minute tow.
This all came from just fishing for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Plastic pollution is a lot more pervasive than a lot of people might realize.
And it's been pretty shocking to see how many tiny, tiny pieces are out there and that they're actually outnumbering the number of fish that we're finding in some of these samples.
Jonathan made the unexpected discovery that diets of these fish contain microplastics, tiny pieces only millimeters long.
So that's the plastic.
Yeah, that's
right
the
there.
plastic, yeah.
The implications of this are that plastic is slowly accumulating and moving up the food chain, making its way from the tiniest fish to us.
So it would be safe to say that we've put so much plastic into the environment that plastic is becoming part of our own diet.
Yeah.
It's hard to trace exactly where individual microplastics come from, but Jonathan has found one clear link to the beauty industry in his samples: microbeads.
Never in my life did I think I was going to be on a military base in a government lab looking at face wash.
For more than 2 decades, the personal care industry was obsessed with and even advertised the benefits of these tiny plastic balls in exfoliating products. Microbeads are the perfect case study for industry behavior. Put ingredients into products now, ask questions later. Because microbeads are too small to be caught by filtration systems, they can enter waterways after being washed down the drain. Public uproar eventually forced a federal ban on microbead products in 2015. So far, not a single major company has figured out how to clean its microbead mess. One of those companies is Procter & Gamble, the largest consumer goods corporation in the world. The company included microbeads in products from body wash to toothpaste. When P&G brand Herbal Essences invited me to look at its new ocean-friendly line, I was eager to see just what positive action the brand was taking.
P&G is a series of brands, billion-dollar brands. Pantene, Head & Shoulders, and of course, my favorite that I work on is Herbal Essences.
Since its beginning, Herbal Essences' biggest marketing tool has always been nature. You may remember its commercials featuring women's totally organic experiences.
Yes! Oh, yes! In a juicy burst.
Today, the brand is promoting a new Love Your Shore bottle made from ocean plastic.
It starts as dirty, nasty litter. It's ground down. It's 3 layers of plastic. The inner layer that touches your products is made from new, fresh plastic. And then the next layer, so that middle layer, 70% of that thickness is a blend of the ocean plastic with some additional plastic mixed in to really give it its full character.
So what percentage of this beach plastic bottle is actually plastic from the ocean?
Okay, so if you add all the pieces together, 25% of the bottle comes from plastic that was removed from the ocean.
If this beach plastic bottle has Love Your Shore written on the front, it's made with beach plastic, but it's really only 25%, is like, would some people maybe call that greenwashing?
Who are these people? Because it's better than we were doing before. And this is, okay, so if you want to think about it, like it is only 25% beach plastic, but that's 25% more than what we did before. The bottle itself is costing us more money to produce. So we make less profits off of the beach plastic bottle. It's not costing more to an end user that's buying the bottle. So for us, we're making an investment to drive awareness to this issue. So it's the beginning of a journey.
And a long one. According to the numbers provided by Herbal Essences, the Love Your Shore bottles will represent 0.1% of all the bottles the brand will produce this year. That means the other 2.5 billion shampoo and conditioner bottles are made of new and often colored plastic, which turns out might be more problematic than you think.
Is that recyclable?
Unfortunately,
Rachel,
it's not recycled right now. We know how to recycle that plastic, but unfortunately, there's no end buyer that's looking to buy the colored plastic. So all of our colored bottles are not easily recyclable. If you're gonna flat out ask me, I just have to say no. That they're really not.
I couldn't believe it. What Rachel's saying is that just because something is recyclable doesn't mean it's actually recycled, especially if it's made out of colored plastic. A majority of our products still end up in the trash. Why? Because in the US, recycling is a business, which means that what gets recycled depends on who's willing to buy it. Clear and white plastics are the easiest to recycle and reuse, while colored plastics, like Herbal's bottles, rarely end up being recycled. So why would a brand make bottles like that? Herbal Essences says, because of consumers.
Why don't you just make people buy the plastic bottles? Just roll it all out, everything's gonna be clear, it's gonna be recycled.
Because we want to stay in business. People tell me, like, I use the blue one, and I'm like, you mean Hello Hydration? So when it's part of your brand equity, and we're a 50-year-old brand, it's not an easy change.
When you have an oil company that spills into a Gulf, they're forced to clean that up. So should the beauty industry be forced to help remove the chemicals that they've put into the oceans as well as the plastic?
That's interesting, because how do you know where the source was to begin with? It's not just the beauty industry, it's all these different industries. So,
but it's also the beauty industry.
It's also, absolutely, it's still the beauty industry. So how do you split the bill? It's a hard situation. All we can do is do what we think is best at the time. And the fact that there is nobody telling us what we have to do.
It's true. There's no regulatory body telling Herbal or any other beauty brand what to do. Corporations taking these initial steps can feel small, but it reveals what's possible. These product lines are proof that corporations are paying attention and testing the waters. It's up to us to show brands what we want them to make. And the time to start is now, because it's never been more urgent.
Thanks for watching Refinery29. For more videos like this, click here, and to subscribe, click here.